Hi, it's me, Rasheed Ogunlaru, coach, speaker, and author of The Gift of Inner Success and Soul Trader, Putting the Heart Back into Your Business. Welcome to the May episode of Catch the Coach, my one-person show, which is really about you are that one person, and it's about helping you arrive at greater peace and fulfillment and meaningful progress in all aspects of your life. And today I'm talking about probably the topic that comes up most commonly for us as coaches, which is really around self-confidence, self-belief, and self-love. They are all interwoven. And I want to break that down into just three themes today that I just want to touch on: loving you, loving what you do, and loving others too. And from time to time when I'm giving certain talks, I'll break it down in that way because it just makes it nice and really, really, really simple. So the first thing is really loving you. Ironically, that should be the easiest thing to do, but it's something that lots of people struggle with. Very often when we find ourselves on this journey of personal growth, people have issues with self-esteem, self-belief, self-confidence, and essentially with self-love. So really, I have a saying which is, know your magic, trust your magic, use your magic, and know that you are a manifestation of life's magic. For the first thing is really, really appreciate you, how you are today. Forget about tomorrow for one moment. Tomorrow's a gift, it's a blessing, it's a maybe, it may well happen. What we have is today, and whatever yesterdays it is that you've happened to have been and gone, but they're part of the fabric of you. So the first thing here is really appreciating who you are right now today, however life has configured you, and really beginning to see that beauty, because otherwise all these things that we're wanting to attain, it might well be that we don't appreciate whatever it is that we already have. So what gifts do you have? What talents do you have? What attributes do you have? And there are probably many. You might be a creative person, you might be a technical person, you might be a logical person, you might be a loving person, you might be a people person, you might be a technology person, you may be a sporting person, you may be a scientific person, you may be a spiritual person, you may be a family person, you may be a nature person. Love who it is that you are. Really take that time to really be so appreciative of who you are. So I'm just going to invite you first of all just to be, to breathe, just to be present, and just to be grateful for who you are. Just be grateful for the fact that you're here with the gifts that you have, with the body that you have, however it's configured, however it looks, whatever your preference is, whatever your identity, whatever your identification, whatever your color, your creed, your class, your gender, your perspective of who you are. Just really appreciating who you are. The magic that you are within, before and beyond the labels, the definitions, that appreciation of you. Everything else may come and go, but you're the constant for as long as you're here. And we need you in the world. Without you in the world, there's a song that's not being sung. It's this thing of thirstful loving you. And from that is this thing about daily gratitude, grateful for who you are, what you have today, who you are, whatever it is that you have. If you've food in the fridge, if you've got food in your tummy, if you've got some people around you who care for you, that appreciating that, loving you. Because otherwise we get caught up in all of this comparison to this person and that person, where I should be now. I'm now 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, I should be there, this should have this, I should be doing that, this should have happened. Hold on, no. First of all, that loving you, really appreciating you, and that's a lifelong journey. What are your gifts, what are your talents, what are your passions, what things that you really love? That leads us nicely to part two. Love what you do. What are your gifts? What are your talents? What are you passionate about? What are the things that are dearest to your heart? Perhaps you're working, are you in a job that you enjoy? In a career that you enjoy? What are the bits of your work that you enjoy? So if you're in a job that you really love, then great. Really appreciate that. How is it that you're able to bring more love and more joy and more enjoyment to what it is that you're doing? If you're not in a job that you love, are you in a career that you love? If you are, then if you're in a career that you love, then it might be making some changes to the job, or it might well be moving to find a new employer that really appreciates who it is that you are. If you don't love what you do, take that time to think, what do I really enjoy? Are there certain bits within this job, the bits to do with the people, the bits to do with the processes, the bits to do with the production or whatever it is that you enjoy? Are there elements of that you enjoy? What are the things that you enjoy? And if you're unsure, spend some time with people who do, and talking to people who do what they love. Ask them how they found that. Do you feel as though you're somebody who's best for employment or self-employment? Give some thought with that. Do you want to be your own boss? If so, you're going to have to put a lot of work and effort in, and you're going to need to be motivated and so on. Or do you prefer to work for, you want to work in an environment that, be part of an organization, sit with those things? Or do you want to work in partnership with people? Sit with really what works for you, and beginning to find what it is that you love, and loving what you do, really, really appreciating whatever that is, finding that, taking that time to really think, what are the bits that you enjoy? For me, early on in my career, when I worked in media and so on, I found that the bits I love were to do with people, the bits to do with training and so on. And over a period of time, I was able to expand that role to become a trainer and to represent the organisation in TV and media, because I love the things to do with training. I love to do the things with the media performance, actually, essentially, and the stuff to do with people. And then bit by bit, all of those years ago, that was the birthplace of what it is that I do. And I love the bits to do with developing people, and I love to do the stuff to do with personal development and so on. And so little did I know those were the building blocks of what I do now. So it might take several different jobs or incarnations to find what it is that you do. And sometimes you'll find that yourself, and then sometimes, strangely, life comes along and it comes in the way, and the redundancy, the restructure and so on forces us sometimes to really look at who I am, what is it that I really love, what is it I'm really about. So if you're in that situation at the moment, really try not to lash out, and to really just be present with yourself and ask yourself, what's the opportunity here for growth and for learning? This leads us nicely to love others too. So first of all, we've talked about loving you, really embracing yourself. And in that embracing yourself, you begin to embrace life itself. Then loving what you do. What is it that I really love? And showing up with love. I have a saying that it's one thing to do what you love for a living. It's another thing to do what you love with love. So showing up lovingly in the workplace, being grateful for the fact that I have a job that I do, and being grateful for the fact that there are people around, and realizing that people are on their own journey. This brings us on to this third thing of loving others too. Realizing everybody else is on their journey. Some people will be able to be grounded, centered, kind, compassionate, cooperative. Some people may be at a place of where they are, or based on all sorts of different dynamics of how they feel, how they perceive, and what's been going on for them, how things are wired, that they may not be able to be. But as we go on this journey of loving you, you're able to first embrace yourself, and then embrace this gift of life itself, and then suddenly realizing that other people, perhaps even your parents or guardians or siblings or colleagues or other people you met or neighbors and so on, perhaps they're also struggling with their own stuff too. And suddenly there's this compassion, a deeper compassion to others. So, and I've been there, where you get in battles with the boss or with the colleagues, or, you know what I mean? Recognizing that other people are where they're at. Stepping into their shoes, taking a moment to respect their point of view, not necessarily agreeing with it, but seeing that point of view, seeing perhaps where that's come from. As people in some forms of counselling put it, being able to begin to see that differentiator between the person and their actions. Maybe there's a beautiful person in there who's in afraid circumstances, and that's what and fearful, and that's what's playing out. And that's a lifelong journey, because this journey is going to involve us having to engage with others, colleagues, friends, family, and so on. And suddenly from this place, we can suddenly shift the whole dynamic. Okay, here I am. I'm at peace with myself, that loving you piece. Okay, here I am, grateful for who I am. I like who I am. I have more talents than I thought. I can do that. Suddenly the confidence begins to emerge because I realize that I have competence, I have ability, I have value. And then from here, the life that we seek has so much to do with the company that we keep. And then we begin to foster those rich relationships with the people who are nourishing for us and recognizing, we'll be engaging with all sorts of different people, but we begin to spot the people who are able to help nurture and support us and vice versa for that stage of life that we're in. So we also become discerning. It's not that we just become completely open and that we're on the whim of everything else. No, we realize that, okay, in many ways, in a very practical sense, I'm the captain of the ship of my life. It's my job to steer it to safe harbor, and that requires me loving myself. It means that loving the ship that I'm in and bringing people on board in my life who can help contribute. So I'm going to begin to end that now, loving you, loving what you do, and loving others too. It's a lifelong journey. Which of these themes, perhaps my tip of the month is to perhaps think about which of those areas is it that really needs focus right now? Is it the self-love bit? Taking care of yourself, your health, your well-being, giving yourself the sleep that you need. So many people at the moment are completely near burnout. You may have seen my last episode, my 12 strategies to avoid burnout. Is that where you're at? Is it about the loving what you do, spending some time really to zoom in on you and your business and or your career and to perhaps make some changes and so on, or to spend some time just researching what would really resonate with you, or spending some time to really, really bring back the love to it? Or is it a case of loving others too, seeing other people's point of view and building that team of people who could be supportive to you, building those relationships, taking that time with the team you're in? And so there might be two teams, the team you work in, and then a team of people, mentors, supporters, colleagues, contacts, friends, family, who can be supportive of you. So love you, love what you do, love others too. Just to quickly flag up a few other things before we close. Remember, there's lots of events that I run that are available to you. And most of these events at the moment are free. Most of them run in proud partnership with the British Library. There's my Networking for Success Express event, which I hold monthly. Helps you to network effectively, confidently, nerve-free, strategically. Be it for your career or your business, that can be very, very, very powerful. Run monthly. Check out my website for the details of that. Likewise, and all these are on the events page of my website. Likewise, my Soul Trader workshop, again run in proud partnership with the British Library Business and IP. It helps you go on that journey of starting or building your own business and being your own boss. Maybe that's where you're at, but doing that, building that business from the heart, with heart, from the heart. And also I run Creative Talk Space with a handful of amazing creative coaches. So if you happen to be from a creative space, and we're running that also monthly. That's not in partnership with British Library, that's separately. So all of the dates for all of those you'll find on my website, along with my Reset, Restart Coffee Morning, which is a coffee hour for anybody who's self-employed, their own boss, business owner, again, run in proud partnership with the British Library. It's an opportunity to just pause, breathe, connect, get inspired, make some new connections and so on. So lots of other stuff to help you. You'll find me also here on whichever format it is that you found me, whichever platform you found me. You'll find me on YouTube, you'll find me on Instagram, you'll find me on my Facebook page, you'll find me on Twitter and so on. I just want to wish you all the best. Lots of love. Love you, love what you do, love others too. Take really, really good care. And thank you so much for dropping by with me. This has been Catch the Coach. Take good care. Bye-bye.